So my baptismal name is Paul Michael Haywiser. And the significance of my name change was because when I came into the monastery, I had just graduated from St. Vincent College. I had been a college student, and I graduated in May, and I entered the monastery in July. So literally went home for maybe a month, found out I had been accepted and officially, and then came back in July. And so changing my name was very important because of the shift in my life, literally from one side of St. Vincent College campus to the other. Having graduated with a degree in business, I was now entering into a new life in the monastery, and so having a name change was quite important for that. So when I entered the monastery, I submitted 3 names to the abbot, which is our custom here. If you're going to have your name changed, you submit 3. And one of those options was Isaac. Isaac as in the son of Abraham, the earliest known use of the name. A name which means laughter. And so by the grace of God, I have been able to fulfill that, not of my own accord, but because of the joy that the Lord has filled me with in becoming a monk and responding to his call in my life. And so the name was significant though because of what happened before I joined the monastery and how it became significant, because my encounter of the name was within the context of the story of Abraham taking Isaac up onto a mountain. And in that particular moment when Abraham has to take everything he ever hoped for, the perceived fulfillment of God's promise. God promised that he'd be the father of many nations. He gives him, after Abraham trying to take care of that on his own through Ishmael and God taking Ishmael away, he has Isaac. And so Isaac is the perceived fulfillment of that promise. God says, give me Isaac back. And there were moments in my life up until my senior year of college when I encountered the story where there were many things I had to give up, but the Lord was still calling me to give up more. And the more I gave up, the more I discovered who I was in him. And in the same way, I was mirroring Abraham and Isaac. I had to give up what I thought was my vocation, which was to be a Dominican. But clearly, I'm not dressed in white, I'm dressed in black. God was calling me to become a Benedictine. And thank God that I was able, by his grace, to let go of that. Like Abraham was able to let go of Isaac and receive something better, I was able to let go of the Dominicans and received something far better. In that, not that the Benedictines are much better than Dominicans, we're older though, but more so of the fact that this was God's will for my life, and therefore it was better. And so that name became so significant because of that story of letting go of what we think God's will is and receiving what God's will is for our lives. So for me, that name change has caused me to live out that reality in my monastic life. I try not to have expectations of what God's plan is for my life, but try to live each moment of each day. And because I seek to do that, because I seek to obey myself to his will and to his divine will in my life, I find that I'm less disappointed when things don't work out how I plan, because I don't try to plan too hard. And therefore, I'm open to receiving that ram that substituted for Isaac, God's better plan in my life.